drivers, 2 cars, 1 goal. Follow the new 3GT racing team in a 6-part series as they make a name for themselves in their first year on the IMSA circuit. We're taking you behind the scenes, behind the wheel, and into the drivers' lives outside the track. The all-access ride-along starts right now. This is In the Pit with 3GT Racing.
It's a really interesting team dynamic. I mean, works out pretty well actually. You know, you got Sage, a bit of a jokester. Scott's the team leader. He's the guy everyone goes for questions and answers. And Jack's just always trying to push forward. You know, I guess I'm definitely the quiet, shy one.
All the guys on our team, when you look at Robert and you look at Jack, what's interesting for me is the fact I'm very much a mentor figure, and with that, want to be that.
We have a weird bunch of drivers, like everybody's polar opposites almost to each other in terms of their personality, but in a way that we all still get on. So it's nice. I mean, you don't always get this kind of camaraderie between, you know, all 4 guys.
Today, we're profiling Robert Alon. The California local has been making waves during his first full season in the GT Daytona class.
7.5 minutes remaining. 7.5 minutes remaining. Fuel is an issue until we get another yellow. Fuel is an issue until we get another yellow.
Robert Alon, he's really kind of a neat story. He came to motorsports kind of late in his life. He was a snowboarder and he'd done some other sort of action sports. We found Rob sort of because we had been in the prototype challenge category, and we started to notice, who is this guy up front? You know, Robert Alon. He's quiet, but there's an intensity to him that is really hard to find in most people. You get him in the car and you can tell he opens up. You know, you don't get much out of him out of the car, but when he's in the car and he's describing what's going on, you can see a change in him and you can hear a change in his voice that it's like he's at home.
I love Long Beach. I mean, it is by any stretch of the word, it is my home track. It's just great to be out here with, you know, all my friends and family out here supporting me, and you know, I come by this area every day. I mean, I love this whole event. It's really, really cool. Other than racing the Lexus RCF GT3, I love to snowboard, and that's why we're up here today. We're gonna try to get a bit of boarding in, drive back down to LA, and get some surfing in Malibu, all in one day. Snowboarding for me is time when I get to, you know, get away from everything, just kind of let go and just do whatever my body feels is right. Focus plays a big part in racing and snowboarding. I mean, in racing, you lose your focus for a second and you go off the track, you go in the dirt, and you lose 10 spots, or your race is over. In snowboarding, you lose your concentration for, you know, a split second, and you break bones, or, you know, you mess up a big trick, or you lose the competition. Either way, I mean, focus is the most important part. Mindset plays a huge part, and people think that you have to be in some kind of weird mindset, but to be honest, it's exactly the opposite. Is you don't want to be in any special mindset. You just want to be who you are and do the best that you can. If you start thinking about all kinds of weird things like, do I have to push harder? I mean, you're just gonna mess up the way that you normally perform. Welcome to one of my favorite spots in Malibu.
You come into the Sage and Jack pool, which is about 12 feet deep in testosterone, and you bring Rob in, he's anti what they are, even though they're all in the same age group. So he carries a different level of confidence, and he really just doesn't care what the environment around him is doing. We had a race where he was running ahead of a bunch of gold and platinum drivers, and nobody could pass him, and his laps get faster. So when you turn that ability into a 24/7 deal, then he's going to grow to be one of the fastest guys.
He's fast, he's a fighter, he's Sage Karam.
You flip the switch and you go.
Mano a mano, you have to beat the other guy.